welcome to my channel. I'm Rosa Maria. Today we're going to learn how to make a very simple, quick, and easy sewing project. We're going to learn how to make our own placemats. These are great projects to make for holiday entertainment and also customizing your dining table. So let's get started on this sewing project. Tools and materials needed. You need some batting, fabric of your choice, coordinating thread. You can choose to use a rotary cutter or a pair of scissors for this project, some sewing pins, and any acrylic ruler that you have on hand. I already cut out 2 pieces of fabric, and both of these 2 pieces measures 19 by 14 inches. And I already cut out my batting, and the batting is also 19 inches by 14 inches. If you like, you can create your own template. I created my own here. I used a file folder that I didn't need, and I made sure that the measurements was 19 inches by 14 inches. That will help me cut out both the fabric and also the batting. Once you have your fabric cut, make sure that you iron both of your fabric. Make sure that all the creases are removed and it's nice and smooth. And once you have ironed both pieces of your fabric, I'll show you the next step. Okay, place your cotton batting on the table that you cut, and then you're going to take one of your fabric that you just cut and make sure that you place it facing up with the printed side and line it up. And once you do that, you're going to take your second piece of cotton fabric, and this time what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that the printed side is facing down, just like this. If there's some extra batting sticking out, that's okay, because at the end we'll remove some of that excess batting. And then I'm going to take my acrylic ruler. And the most important thing is make sure that you leave about a 4-inch opening. You can use your friction pen for this. And I'm going to mark here 4 inches opening. And now I'm going to take my sewing pin and I'm going to just mark over here by using 2 sewing pins, letting me know this is where I'm going to start. And then I'm going to put another one here on this side where I'm going to be ending when I'm sewing. And the reason why I kind of personally do this, because I have in the past by mistake continued sewing all around the fabric, and by doing that there was no way for me to turn the fabric inside out. So this is just only a reminder to let me know, don't pass or just don't sew this area here, just leave it open. So take your sewing pins and just start pinning around. You don't have to use too many sewing pins, just enough to keep both fabrics together. Okay, now I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and I'm going to stitch all here, all these 3 sides together, and again leaving this gap of 4 inches. I have here my foot presser against the edge here of the fabric. So it's going to be about 1/2 inch that we're going to be using for seam allowance. I'm going to remove both of these sewing pins to get them out of the way. And I'm going to start sewing and do a back stitch to secure the thread and the fabric together. I'm going to continue to sew all the way here at the end. And I'm going to lift my foot presser and I'm going to pivot the fabric. I noticed that I still need to have the foot presser against the edge, so I'm going to move the fabric back up and do at least 2 more stitches. Lift the foot presser, and there we are close to the edge, and I'm going to continue to sew all the way down. I'm coming again to the end here. Lift my foot presser and I'm going to turn the fabric and continue to sew all the way down. And this is a great way to practice your straight stitches. Again, coming to the corner here, lifting the foot presser, tilting the fabric, and lowering the foot presser down. And I'm going to continue again. And the same thing again, I'm going to lift the foot presser and lower it down, and I'm coming to the end here, so I'm going to be more mindful to make sure that I'm going to end right over here. I'm going to remove the sewing pins and I'm going to back stitch to secure, and I'm done sewing. We have finished stitching around the fabric. I'm going to remove the sewing pins. The next step is I'm going to trim off the corners over here, and I'm going to be very careful as I trim those corners off. As you can see, I'm being very gentle and more cautious. I don't want to trim off the thread and then I defeat my purpose. I just want to make sure that I trim it above it. And now that I finished trimming all those four corners, I am going to turn the fabric inside out. So I'm going to gently put my hand inside and gently pull the fabric out. And I use my fingers to poke out the corners. I've got this other corner to do. Try to get them all out as much as I can. using my fingers. Okay, there we go. Now that I have the fabric turn, I'm just going to use my hand to smooth the fabric down a little bit. And over here, as you can see where the opening is, I am going to gently just turn it. Let me try this way better. And then I'm going to pin it to secure it there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my iron and gently just kind of flatten these ends, not corners, but these sides. So when I do sew it, it'll be nice and even. As you can see here, I am ironing. And also making sure that the area here where I have the two opening is going to be ironed down. I'm going to remove the sewing pins and give it a nice firm press here. I'm going to put the safety pins back here. Not safety pins, but sewing pins. And I'm going to take it to the sewing machine. And I just want to make sure this is where I start stitching. We're going to be doing some top stitching here on top. So let's go to the sewing machine. Okay, I am making sure that I am sewing a little bit above where the opening is. I'm going to remove the sewing pin out of the way, and I'm going to start to sew back stitch. Coming to the end here. One more stitch, lifting my foot presser and tilting the fabric. And I'm going to continue to sew all the way down. One more stitch here. Let me tilt. Back. At the end here now. Okay, then turn it. Okay, now we're coming here close to the end, and I want to make sure that the fabric matches that end back stitch. And we just finished stitching all around the fabric. We finished stitching, or I should say we finished top stitching the top of all four corners of this fabric, and as you can see, is nicely done. You don't have to use the same fabric. You could use a different fabric, so it'll make a very nice reversible placemat on your table. I'm just going to remove some of the extra threads sticking out here, and now we are done. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how to make placemats. It's a great project, as I mentioned. It's very quick and easy for beginners. And if you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends and family. And if you're not a subscriber, click on the subscribe button, and also click on the bell that is next to the subscribe button. By clicking on the bell, YouTube will notify you every time I upload a new video. And also on the description box below, I listed all the materials and tools needed in order to start this project, and also where you can purchase it. So hopefully you enjoy this project as much as I have. Until next time, bye.